An ICE agent just murdered a woman in Minnesota. This is a direct result of Trump's terror campaign on our communities, using ICE agents as his personal police force to go into our communities, terrorize our people, kidnap them, and traffic them to countries around the entire world. The video evidence is clear. This woman was trying to drive away and was shot in the face multiple times by an ICE agent. The way the administration is lying about this is disgusting. The video is clear. That woman was murdered, shot in the face multiple times as she was trying to drive away. And how dare ICE and this administration label her a domestic terrorist? You want to know who's terrorizing our communities? ICE agents from Orlando to Minneapolis. That ICE agent needs to lose his job, be arrested and charged for the murder of this woman. But accountability can't just stop at that one agent. We need accountability for this entire administration and ICE as a whole. The mayor of Minneapolis said it clear.
To ICE, get the fuck out of Minneapolis. We do not want you here. Your stated reason for being in this city is to create some kind of safety, and you are doing exactly the opposite.
And I agree, but not just out of Minneapolis, but out of Orlando and every single community in this nation. Congress will be taking up appropriations bills. One will be for the Department of Homeland Security that will fund ICE. I'm a hell no on this.
Can I go check a pulse?
No! Back up! Now!
I'm a physician!
I don't care!
We understand. We got EMS coming, and I get it. Just give us a second.
We have medics on scene. We have our own medics.
Where are they?
Medic.
Where are they?
Pulse!
How can I relax? You just killed my neighbor!
I'm not happy that this woman was there at a protest violating the law by interfering with a law enforcement action.
We have some major news. The ICE agent who shot and killed Renee Good in broad daylight in Minneapolis yesterday has been identified. The Tribune has identified him as Jonathan Ross. There is very little public information about him, but federal officers called him an experienced officer, and he's the same guy who was dragged and injured in a separate incident last year. Now, of course, police, the Department of Justice, the FBI are investigating the incident, but we also learned earlier today that local officials trying to look into this are being blocked out by the federal government. They are not giving them access to the resources they need. They're also not fully allowing her death to be investigated. Now, I know that MAGA is going to cry and kick their feet over this guy being identified, but number one, he works for the federal government, and number two, he should have never had a mask on anyway. ICE agents should not be walking around.
So here's another angle of the blatant murder that the media is lying to you about. Don't believe the official narrative. What happened was ICE was blocking traffic. This person was trying to get around it. ICE came up to their door. They said, "My bad," tried to pull off and leave, and they killed her. And they are trying to report that she was trying to run people over, when there is video footage of that not fucking happening from multiple angles. They just killed her because they wanted to. And this is 4 blocks away from where George Floyd was murdered. Bloomington, Minnesota. And the woman who was killed was not a criminal, was not an immigrant, was a U.S. citizen, was Caucasian, and about my age. They're just killing anybody.
As a conservative, I'm completely shocked by the reactions I'm getting from people I followed for years sit here and defend what happened to this woman in Minneapolis yesterday. A mother, an American citizen, lost her life. She has a 6-year-old son who also lost his father, who is now an orphan. Number one, she lived on that road. Okay, she was not obstructing traffic or any of that. They have no probable cause to open her door because she's not harboring an illegal immigrant. Next, you can see the wheel is turned away from the ICE agent. And as an ICE agent, you are not supposed to put yourself in front of a vehicle because you don't know who you're dealing with. In the video, she is turning away from the ICE agent, not towards him. In another video, you can see that she's waving them by so they can go past her. And then 3 masked agents walk up to her and demand she open the door, which makes absolutely no sense. And then I'm scrolling and I see MAGA conservatives mocking this woman. And for those who say you don't mock these types of things, yes, you do. You can be pro-ICE and still see that this was unjustified. I don't ever want to see y'all wave a "Don't Tread on Me" flag again because that's exactly what's happening. Now JD Vance says that ICE agents have complete immunity. If you think she deserved what happened because she drove away, unfollow me right now. I do not want to be associated with that. This isn't politics.
You have no right to put your hands on him.
After Renee Nicole Good was injured, Immigration and Customs Enforcement agents prevented medical personnel from providing treatment. New eyewitness accounts and video evidence have emerged, alleging that U.S. Immigration and Customs Enforcement (IC) agents actively prevented emergency medical personnel from reaching Renee Nicole Good immediately after she was shot. Witnesses stated that when rescue workers attempted to enter the area, agents blocked them at the perimeter, asserting the scene was not yet secured from threats and ordering them to retreat. Footage shows responders with hands raised, signaling to approach the vehicle where Good remained unconscious, but they were not granted immediate access. After being forced to wait for minutes outside the cordon, Good had suffered severe blood loss and showed fading vital signs, having missed the critical golden hour for emergency treatment. Her mother later expressed in an interview her profound confusion and anguish over why life-saving aid was withheld after her daughter was down. These allegations stand in stark contrast to official statements justifying the use of force.
What happened to her was a fucking tragedy and a fucking disgrace. That man shot her for no reason, and she's dead. Yesterday, a woman in Minnesota was shot in the head by an ICE agent. She was not fleeing anything. She was not accused of anything. She was not harassing anyone. She was simply there in her car. And I want to state that if this had been a black man, this would be buried. So, although I wish this happened to nobody, the fact that it was a white woman who got shot in the head is why we are all hearing about this. And I am just very grateful that there are so many camera angles to prove that this was completely unwarranted and fucked up. That's someone's daughter. That's someone's mother. There were toys in the seat next to her. That's someone's wife. That's someone's sister. And, you know, just like the countless other people who get slaughtered in the United States by police officers or now ICE, when does it end? If you guys need any more proof that we are headed towards a regime, what more proof do you need? Innocent people are being kidnapped and killed. And shit, this was ICE related, and she was a fucking citizen. And I don't think they should be doing this shit to anyone. But the fact that it is also
when my neighbor says, I recognize her, that's Renee screaming, that sends chills down my spine.
Renee Nicole Good was a 37-year-old U.S. citizen and mother of 3 who moved to Minnesota just last year. According to the AP, Good described herself on social media accounts as a poet and writer. Her ex-husband told the AP she had just dropped her 6-year-old off at school and was driving home with her current partner when they encountered a group of ICE agents. Not long after that, Good was shot and killed by one of those agents. Her partner was nearby. The ex-husband asked the AP not to be named for the safety of their children. CNN has also reached out to her family. Her mother told the Minnesota Star-Tribune that Renee was, quote, one of the kindest people I've ever known. She was extremely compassionate. While her father told the Washington Post, quote, she was a wonderful person. Good had 2 children, ages 12 and 15, from her first marriage, according to the AP. Her second husband, father to her 6-year-old, died in 2023, according to the Star-Tribune. Her ex-husband said she was a devoted Christian who would go on mission trips to Northern Ireland when she was younger. He also said she loved to sing. Good lived most of her life in Colorado and briefly lived in Kansas with her parents.
A neighbor who, you know, is not a terrorist, not an extremist. That was.
They don't. She was in a car with her, bro. Or she tried to save her or something. Somebody. Hey, was you riding with her? Did you call any of your peoples yet?
Renee Good's memorial site was deliberately destroyed by ICE. An emotional protester shouted directly at law enforcement officers, accusing them of ignoring the memorial and showing blatant disrespect toward her. Renee Good was a mother, a woman who had spoken up for rights. Many members of the public came to the site on their own, placing flowers, photographs, candles, and handwritten notes, not only to honor her life, but also to demand answers to questions that still remain unresolved. However, in what should have been a space of restraint and respect, the arrival of law enforcement caused the situation to rapidly escalate. Footage shows officers intentionally damaging the memorial items at the scene, removing, stepping on, and clearing away the objects placed in Renee Good's memory, while pushing the gathered crowd in the process. When protesters tried to intervene, officers repeatedly issued the same command: back up. One protester completely lost